Welcome back. So look at this answer. It says it's a bad request, object not valid, but why is it not valid? This is very useless. I cannot see why this is not valid. So we're going to just do one more thing and then we'll leave validation for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say if we have a bad request, if something is not valid, I actually want to know why it's not valid. So it's very easy to do, but we have to use something different than what we're doing right now in the customer controller. Because right now we're trying to use the try-validate model. And I just want to kind of show you guys that one, because the one we should actually use is another one called the model state. Now the model state has an isValid right here, which is actually a property that we can use to validate if an object is actually valid or not. But how is the model state created? Well, behind the scenes, as soon as you hit the post request, something is created called the model state behind the scenes, and then everything is validated against the required fields, for instance, that we have right here, the data annotation right here. And then, of course, it figures out if that guy is valid and it builds the error messages, if there are any error messages, etc., etc., etc. So this guy is actually behind the scenes being built anyway, so let's use it. And then we're saying if this is not valid, then we need to send the error message back. And that's probably hard. But actually the answer is no. We're just going to send the entire model state back right here like this. Oops, capitalize them, of course. There we go, model state. And that's all we had to do. Let's see the difference. Now, I didn't change anything else except instead of using the try-validate, I'm now using the model state. Model state is valid, and I'm just passing back the entire model state if I have an error. So let's try and see what will actually happen now in Postman when I actually try and send a request now. Because again, I feel validation is worth spending a bit of time on because it's very helpful for the guy using your REST API to be told why this one is actually not running. And there is a reason, because first name is required. And notice, I just sent the request again, and now I'm actually getting something very valuable. First name field is required. Okay, awesome, awesome. Let's try and change this. Add the first name field, because that seems to be required. And let's just do this. There we go. I am an evil man, so I'm just doing it like this. Let's try again. No, you're still not. It needs to be something. Okay, let's put in B. That's a good name. There we go. And actually we created B. But I wouldn't allow that in a real application. B is just too short for a name. So let's try and go in and add another, just to show you how easy it is to actually change now from having the required field to actually also want to change it so we are sure that the length is actually minimum or maximum length. And there's a few ways to do this. I'm just going to use the simple way right now, which is max length of our actual string here is going to be 20 characters, and the min length of our string is going to be 2 characters, so I'll write min right here. Let's try and run this. So the program is back up and running. I still have my B here. Let's try and do a send, and I'll get a message saying the field first name must be a string or array with a minimum length of 2. Okay, let's put in 2. Let's say Billy, like this, and do a send. And it works. Okay, I also put in a max length, so let's make something crazy here and do a send again. Oops, back to another problem, right? So, there you go. Now you can make some crazy validation. Again, there's a lot of different validation types already built in. You can go and just Google system component model data annotations, and you can get a list of all the different data annotations available, and then you can start playing around with this annotation standard. See you in the next lesson where we'll do something completely different.